You should have the best settings in Valorant no matter what. No matter what elo you're in, no matter how long you've been playing the game, you should always be having the best settings from the get-go. And that's exactly what I'm going to be providing you with today. Not only will I increase your FPS or make the game look nicer, but I'll also be showing you little tricks that can help you to see more, and I can also give you the advantage in certain scenarios in Valorant. So if you want to be able to see through parts of Viper walls easier, and you also want to be able to see your enemies clearer, this is the video for you. First off, we're going to be talking about the minimap. The minimap is a crucial part of Valorant and reveals so much intel that you don't see on your screen and also you don't get from your teammates. The size and zoom of the minimap are completely personal preference. It's whether you like to have it big on your screen and how zoomed in it should be. The keep players centered setting should always be on. Then you can either have it rotate or stay in a fixed position, which essentially means when you look right, it'll rotate to face that direction, or it'll stay in a fixed position. And the only other thing you want to worry about here is making sure that you have bullet tracers on. It should always be on, and it is an advantage. Now for your equipment, there are a few settings here that might be crucial for your controls. If you're playing someone like Jet or using any agent with an ability, you might want to change your keybinds for this. For example, on Jet, it might be quite hard to press E and A at the same time when you're trying to dash right. Therefore, binding this to a mouse button can make it a little bit easier for you. The same applies to any ability that you have to get out. Having it on a mouse button might be simply more convenient. The only ones I'd recommend taking a look at are those. Now, go over to your communication and look at the party voice chat and the team voice chat. Now, the team voice chat here, this might be an unknown thing to a lot of you, and I imagine it is to quite a few players in Valorant. But believe it or not, you can actually set a keybind to talk to other players on your team in-game. I know, it's mind-blowing, I thought that too. Which means you can communicate and coordinate an effective push onto a site. It's a shocker, so you might need a few seconds to calm down and just like the video. Quite frankly, it is a revolutionary invention. Anyways, go over to video, go over to general. You want to be making sure your display mode is always on full screen. You want to be making sure that all your limit on FPSs should be set to a high amount. You don't want to be limiting yourself and capping yourself on a very low amount of FPS. It should be high, because you never want to cut off that fresh FPS that you can get. Now, to increase your FPS, you want to put all your graphics settings on low. Have the material, the texture quality, the detail quality, the UI quality all on low. Turn VisionNet and VSync off. It will make your game look a little bit worse, but it gives you so much FPS, it is 100% more beneficial. And also, there's a great advantage that it gives you. If you have it on low, when you're looking at a Viper wall, you can actually see more of it and see players coming out of it a lot clearer. Because the graphic settings are on low, it's a lot easier for you to see things. If you want to get out some more FPS, put your anti-aliasing and filtering on none and 1x on the lowest options. If you really want their FPS, go for it, however, it's your choice. Then I like to have improved clarity on, as it does make your game look a little bit better and it makes the character outlines a lot easier to see. A key note is that this is for high-end GPUs only. Then I like to turn everything else off at the bottom, including bloom, distortion, cast shadows, and experimental sharpening. For the stats, I like to have text on for FPS, text on for network round trip time, which is your ping, and also text on for any packet loss. These come in really handy for seeing your ping without having to tab out, and also seeing your FPS in case it drops. But with these settings, you ain't going to be dropping anything, apart from 30 kills. Now, if you want even more FPS out of it, turn your gameplay, agent flavor, emotes, and VOP Dux flavor from the audio section off. All you need on is the emotes and the announcer thing, and that is just going to give you a little bit of FPS because it does use it up. Now, a key setting for you here, if you come over to your general tab, you want to be changing your enemy highlight color from red to something else. It is kind of personal preference, but at the same time it's not. The best one is yellow Dunatropia, or however you pronounce that, the third option down. Red isn't the best, purple's probably the worst, and the other yellow one isn't as good as the other yellow one. It's going to highlight your enemies and make them stand out a ton more, and it is scientifically proven to be the color that we see the most as humans, and is the most visible and vibrant to us. And an absolutely huge setting to not only increase your FPS but make life so much easier for you is to turn off show mature content. This means that you will no longer be able to see blood and players when they get taken out by another enemy. The reason why this is so good is because it now looks a little bit like this. It's cleaner and easier to see. It makes finding out who actually got taken out a lot easier, and it also allows you to pick up weapons on a player's body without having to get in the way. And the player's body will no longer cover it because you can see the weapon because it's on a nice little pedestal. So if you're trying to res someone as Sage and there's a weapon in the way and you simply can't do it, but you want to pick up a weapon on a player's body but it's in the way and you can't see it, turn this setting on, it's a lifesaver. Quite literally, because this gets you taken out so often. There is one setting that I haven't mentioned here, and that's your crosshair. And that's because I've already created a list of the top 10 best crosshairs to use in Valorant right now, and there's a card in the top right if you want to check it out. Thank you for watching, be sure to drop a like on the video if it helped you out, and subscribe for more tips and tricks videos. And I do stream every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 6 to 30 PM BST, so if you want to see the settings that I use in-game and in action, there's a link down below in the description to my Twitch. And click on the video on your screen right now if you want to see how to actually get better with some advice from the number 3 Radiant.